Mike 5-4. Ricky.
First down. Here's Cousins. It's brought in by Harris. 5 yards on the game's first play. Second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Williams. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 41-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Throwing, Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Set 30 base. 50, 50. We got it.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work. Whip. Go on. Hey, box truck. There.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Herbert over the middle, and it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
It's now 4th down.
Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is. No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And Josh Hill has it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
23 yards the pickup there.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 15-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Let's make these babies crawl all the way back home.
From the gun, here's Cousins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
A 32-yard attempt.
And Lutz puts this one through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Let's go.
At their own 35-yard line.
On the ready.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Down. 10-2 soft. Check back 46. Let's go, D. Ready?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Let's go. 70. Indy.
These two teams all tied after 1.
Everyone got 4 down. Ready? 50. Plant. 46 to mark. And come on up. Check 13. Check 13. Watch 83.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 8. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 19.
First down, line 6.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Here I come again. Check. Lucky.
To throw on 2nd down, Herbert. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. Got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Cousins. This is complete to Michael Thomas.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. He was looking for his running back, Jamal Williams. And it's third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Quick throw here to Hilton. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think a guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Here's a quick throw complete to Galladay. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert, big hold of the 30. He'll get this one to Galladay. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. So on 4th down, here's Sam Martin to punt it away for Detroit. And look at this, it's a fake. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off inside the 10.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. White now to return.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Under a minute to play here in the half. Time for a late drive.
It makes sense when you think about it. Hey, try and get a field goal. Give yourself a lead going into the half. But if you're going to do this, you better have supreme trust in your quarterback. Supreme trust in the guy's going to handle the football. Because if you turn it over here, not only do you go in down at the half, you've given the momentum squarely to your opponent.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
It's our time, guys. 300. Quick dance. Go. Watch the safety crease. What's that?
One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. They're going to run it with Murray. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, this from 48. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This is taken near the 13. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now it's Freeman. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so...
Ready, set. 46 to Mike. 65. 65. Greystone, grab it. Check. Go. 46. Here we go. Mike, 46. Mike, 46. Let's go.
Looking to throw on second down. Herbert. And that is incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Not a blitz, but the guy who's normally the last line of defense recognized that he had a chance to get to the quarterback, and that's exactly what he did.
Here's Sam Martin now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And they're going to try this again. It's another fake. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down to the backfield. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
They run it again with Williams. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And that's caught by Smith. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
To throw, Cousins. And Thomas has it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Cousins now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. They run from the shotgun with Murray. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch 54. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Slam, slam. Two.
They go with Murray again. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal.
I'm coming after you.
They'll run it with Williams. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. Now from the 7, here's second and goal. Here's Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal.
Good route here. 44's the Mike. 44's Mike. Check. Hey, Haywood. Mike's Popo. Watch the run. They're running it.
Now Cousins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Herbert. Complete to Hilton. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Rashad Penny. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
On 1st down, it's Moss, and this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Back now here live in New Orleans. And we've got a dandy here, a 1-point game as we begin the 4th.
Ready. 8 read. Here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
To throw on 2nd down. Herbert. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
To throw on 3rd down, Herbert. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Sam Martin now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here.
At their own 15-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 41 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Williams. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 20-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Done.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Ready? Check 55 to Mike. Clark. Hey, 382, let's 50.
From the 16, Cousins. He'll get this off to Jamal Williams. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
1 man in the backfield, Murray on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Latavius Murray, his 1st touchdown on the year. And once again, the Saints are back out in front.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move well.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now a throw here to his running back. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock, but I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn it into a big gain.
Back to throw. He's got it to Hilton. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 27 yards there, a first down. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Come on, set. Get the oar. I got him. Hey, let go. Spike.
They'll look to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down. This entire defensive unit, Charles, they've really put in a good shift tonight, so to speak.
I like how you phrased that. This has been a good shift. They punched the clock the entire evening. They ought to have shirts that have their names on them in the front to let them know these are blue-collar workers who are getting it done.
He's back to throw. And the catch made by Hilton. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. This quarterback now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Saints, it took a few weeks, but they're into the win column now at 1-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Detroit, things aren't looking good. It'll be an 0-5 start. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.